Hey everybody, Yankee here. Not too long ago, I did some videos where I took revolvers and then just single action revolvers, and I ranked the manufacturers of the most common models of those guns on how I thought they rated compared to one another, you know, in a tiered system. And when I did that, some people asked me, hey, would you do the same thing for semi-automatics? Well, today I'm going to do the same thing for one segment of semi-automatics. I'm going to do it for polymer carry guns. I'm going to rank the manufacturers of some of the most common polymer carry guns. I'm going to be ranking Beretta, CZ, HK, Glock, Smith & Wesson, Sig, Springfield Armory, Taurus, Walther. And I'm going to be ranking them how I think they stack up next to each other. And I'm going to be taking their entire line of polymer guns into consideration. Just because I put them in a certain place doesn't mean all their guns are in that position. I just think that that manufacturer as a whole is in that position, in that place in the rankings. So keep that in mind while I'm doing this, and I'll tell you about that when I'm actually ranking them. So like I said, going to rate the major manufacturers of polymer handguns. Which one is your favorite and where's it going to fall on this chart? Well, let's go see. All right, we're going to break it into 3 different categories here, and we're going to spread the guns across these categories, and these categories are good, better, and best. All these guns are good. Every one of them is a solid, dependable gun that you can trust your life to. To be better or best, they either have to offer some exceptional something extra that the other manufacturers don't offer. So let's get started here in alphabetical order, and let's start with Beretta. Now, Beretta does have the APX, which is, you know, a good gun. I would actually put it in a better category, but they also make the PX4 Storm, which I think is one of the best polymer guns ever made, much less made today. So this one's going to be up there. It's going to be just barely in the better category and going into the best category, because I don't think there's a lot of guns that can beat this one, so there doesn't need to be a lot of room to that right side there. Because this is an exceptional gun, hammer fired. It's got a manual decocker that can also be a safety if you want it to be. It's got a rotating barrel. It's got a really nice ergonomic design. It is just a top-notch gun. And as far as polymer guns go, I think it's one of the best choices you can possibly make. So it definitely deserves to be pushing in to the best category. All right, next we got CZ. Now, if you looked at the CZ P10s, well, then I'd be putting it down in the good category because I'm not too impressed with them. I think they're just very redundant, if nothing else. But, you know, CZ also makes things like the P07 and the P09, and those are exceptional polymer carry guns. They are very nice. They're double action, single action, hammer fired guns with safeties, manual decockers, different configurations available there, and they're just top-notch quality guns. I don't think they get the attention they deserve because they are definitely one of the better options out there. Like I said, the P10, not so great. And in fact, because the P10 is part of their line, it keeps this gun from being more into the best category, but it's definitely to the high end of the better category, and that is the CZ polymer pistols like the P07. All right, next we have one that everybody's going to have strong opinions on. It's the Glock. Now, some people are going to think this is the absolute best. Some people are going to think that, there should be a worst category on here for this because they suck. But I'm going to tell you, they're awesome guns. They are definitely, solidly in the better category. Now, they're not best. The manufacturing is not top notch, and they don't offer anything most other guns don't offer, but they actually do one thing that actually does make them solidly in the better category, and that is they offer a wide array of calibers in a very dependable, simple gun with huge aftermarket support. So this gun definitely deserves its place in the carry market as one of the most popular carry guns around because it is a reliable, solid gun, like I said, with lots of aftermarket support so you can make lots of changes to it. And the biggest thing, it comes in all those different sizes and calibers, so there's something for everyone, and that is the Glock solidly in the better category. All right, next we have H&K, or HK as they call it today. And it doesn't really matter which one you're looking at here. The P30, the USP, the P2000, whatever gun you're looking at, with the exception maybe of the VP9 series. They seem to be a little under par for this manufacturer. But overall, every gun they make is top notch. Hammer fire, different trigger options, different safety options, just all kinds of different ways you can get this gun. And their manufacturing is top notch. These guns are precision made. They are easily, in my opinion, the best polymer gun maker on the market, no matter which one you choose to carry, unless of course it's maybe the VP9. But even the VP9 can't drag these down too far because they are great. So as of right now, I think they are probably to the far end of the best category, and that is the HK polymer pistols. All right, next we have one of my favorite manufacturers, period, and that's Ruger. And you know, one thing Ruger is known for was mostly revolvers, not so much their polymer gun series. Unless, of course, you take into account the LCPs. Their little polymer guns are awesome. In fact, they're some of the best small options out there. But when it comes to their fuller size guns, they're good guns, but it's obvious Ruger doesn't spend a lot of time with them, doesn't put a lot of effort into them. They're just good guns. Now, they do lean a little more into the better category, and if this was just based on the LCP, it would be definitely center of better category. But like I said, their regular series guns are just a little big, a little bulky, and not as refined as they could be. Still a good solid option for self-defense, but on this scale, I'm going to have to put them in the good category, moving into slightly into the better. All right, next we have another entry here that's going to be a little controversial for some people, and it is Sig Sauer. Now, they are most known for their Sig P320s, but they also make other polymer guns. The P365 is another huge seller for them. And one thing that they have in common across their line of polymer guns is that they are awesome. Not only do they have lots of different options in sizes, shapes, colors, etc., but you can build them yourself. You can go over and buy the parts piece by piece and put them together around that central firing control unit, and you can build the gun the way you want it. And you will have an excellent carry gun. Now, that lack of safety scares some people, but it doesn't scare most people. Now, it scares me. I won't carry striker fired guns because of that. But other people have no problem with them, and they seem to do fine with them every day. So this is going to be solidly in the better category, actually towards the far end of the better category. And it's going to be a little bit above Glock. Not because it's an overall better gun, but just because it does have that versatility of being able to build it yourself in the way you want to build it and have different looks and different configurations. That puts it just slightly ahead of Glock because of those extra features there. And it is the Sig series polymer guns. Next, we have the Smith & Wesson. Now, I don't like these guns at all. Now, I do like them a lot better now that they've changed that trigger to something far nicer. I do like that 2.0 grip far better than the original one. But there's just something about this gun overall that it doesn't jive with me. But still, it's a very good gun. In fact, it's one of the better guns. I would put it solidly in the better category, just right under Glock. Pretty much in the same level, but slightly under, just because I don't think it offers as many options as Glock. I've said many times, I think the M&P is a better gun than Glock, even though I like Glock better. So you might wonder why it's a little under. And like I said, it's because Glock offers more calibers, more configurations than the M&P series guns do. Now, M&P does offer different sizes, like the shields, the equalizers, etc., but they all pretty much fall in the same category. And if they just offered more caliber options, I think they'd be a little ahead of Glock. But since Glock offers more calibers, they're a little above them. And this is the Smith & Wesson polymer gun line, and it's solidly in the better category. All right, next we have Springfield Armory. Now, I personally don't like Springfield Armory, don't like their management. But their guns are good, solid guns. There's nothing really special about them, but they're not awful. Now, the XD series is a little awful. It's ugly, it's top heavy, it's not the best gun. It's just a cheap Croatian gun that they stuck a purchased logo on and then tried to present it as something special when it wasn't. The XDM series was a little better, and I will have to say that I am very impressed with the new Echelon that they have out. So because of the Echelon, instead of putting them solidly right in the center of good, I'm going to have them moving into the better category because I think the Echelon has a lot of potential, but otherwise, not that impressed with their guns and definitely don't like the company. I'm trying not to let that influence my opinion, but they're going to be in the good range, but just teetering into better. This is the Springfield Armory series polymer guns. All right, next we have an often maligned gun maker that a lot of people think of as a second or third tier manufacturer. But, they're really not, especially not in the rest of the world. They're a major gun manufacturer. And we're talking about Taurus. And a lot of people think of Taurus as, well, you buy it if you're poor and you can't afford nothing else. Well, that is true in some cases because they are very reasonably priced. Now, their polymer line is pretty diverse, but the one that I'm the most familiar with is the G2C and the G3C because I give those away for TYMP. And you know what? I wouldn't give them away if I didn't think they were very good guns. These guns are actually very reliable, very capable, and they're very inexpensive. You can get these guns for under $250. And when you're on a budget, but you still don't want to sacrifice quality, these are a good option. These are solidly in the good category. Now, the only reason they're down here at this far end is because I don't think they put as much effort as some of the manufacturers do in, making fancy cuts. And, their manufacturing is basically middle of the road. But they do have options like safeties, etc. that Glock doesn't have. But still, they're not a Glock. They're just a good alternative if you can't afford a Glock. So they're solidly in the good category because they are good guns, or I wouldn't give them away. It is Taurus, especially the G2 and G3 series guns. All right, next we have Walther, or as some people say, a Walther, but those people are commies, and I ain't a commie, so I'm going to call it Walther. I love Walther polymer guns. They are one of the best makers of polymer guns. When the PPQ came out, that was one of the most awesome guns on the market, and now the PDP series that has replaced it is just as good. Now, I personally did prefer the PPQs. I liked some of their features better, like the European style mag release, etc. on the first series guns, but they're still top notch. These guns are awesome. And that's why I'm going to put them into the best category. They're just ahead of Beretta and just a little behind HK. That's how good they are. These guns are awesome. If you've never shot one, they're one of the most ergonomically comfortable guns you could possibly shoot. They're incredibly well made. The polymer, you can tell, is high end. It is well made. Their manufacturing process is precise, and it shows in their guns. Like I said, I always kind of consider Walther as the poor man's H&K. I just wish they offered some hammer-fired guns. These are striker-fired, which means I'm too scared to carry them. But if you're someone that likes a striker-fired gun, well, you can get a gun that's almost HK level, but striker-fired with one of the Walther PDPs. So like I said, they are solidly in the best category. The only gun that I think outdoes them just a little bit is H&K, and that's mainly because they're offered in hammer-fired configurations. As far as quality goes, I think the Walther is just as good, so they are one of the best polymer gun makers out there, Walther. All right, there you have my lineup. That's where I think they fall on the chart. Do you agree? Disagree? Is there one gun you think I left out or one gun you think needs to be in a different position? Let me know in the comment section below or come to our live chat. We do them pretty much every night at 6 p.m. except for Wednesday when they're at 7, and Monday nights are members only, so you got to be a member to come to those. But feel free to come to any of them other than the members only. Unless you're a member, come to that one. But let me know what you think of my ratings here. I had fun sharing it with you, and I look forward to hearing what you all think about this topic.